Hello, and welcome to the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of May 13th. I'm Catherine Haleko, and I'm here with Terry Morrow.
Hello.
For a weekly episode to talk about parenting in a roundabout way, along with a little pop culture. So this morning you heard a pop?
Yes. We did. I woke up around 6 o'clock, and shortly after that, we heard this, first thing you think is an explosion, but it was just really a kind of a boom. And then all the power went out. And so we're like, I'm thinking, well, is this the start of the alien invasion? Is this the start of World War, III? Is this Civil War II? Is this when everything all the power goes out and we never get it back? And then, everybody went outside and was out talking to each other. My daughter walked around the corner and could see that there was a power line down. So, it's not forever. It's just for now.
I do enjoy that that's where your brain went.
Well, yes, this is too much popular culture. It's, those science fiction movies where all of a sudden something happens and then there's no more power ever. And it's like, even when, I was able to use the Wi-Fi on my phone as a hotspot to go on my computer and check with the utility company. And they said, yes, we know, we're fixing it. And they said it was going to be a couple of hours. And then we heard some trucks coming and everything. So in the meantime, I'm like, oh, it's okay. I'll just sit and have my coffee. I can't make my coffee because there's no power for my electric kettle. And even if I wanted to boil it on a pot on the stove, we have an electric pilot light. Oh, no. And, my son was going to go eat breakfast and he realized he couldn't microwave anything. Oh, no. And
cold cereal for you, but don't open the refrigerator.
That's right. Yeah. He said, I think you end up having a Pop-Tart. Pop-Tarts are always there for you, ladies and gentlemen. I prefer mine toasted, which you can't do if there's no electricity. But, so we just
sidebar. My husband watched the Jerry Seinfeld Pop-Tart movie.
He said it looks not good. Do you like it?
He said that it was not as bad as what he's been reading, but it was basically like an SNL skit at movie length.
Yeah, that's exactly what it seemed like to me. I've seen pictures and scenes and went, I hope Catherine doesn't propose this for round 2. Black and white merger sociopaths, yes. Full color movies about toaster pastries. I think
not so much.
Yes,
but with
hit it in the head with
a ton of. There's quite a few stars in that. I mean,
yes,
that cast is kind of crazy. But anyway, we were talking about your power outage.
My power outage. So as it happened, it was fixed very quickly. Partially, I think, because the line that was down was right across the street from the high school. And I imagined the administration said, could you please give us power, immediately? So not that I don't think that our electric company values us and would immediately rush to restore our power so that I could have a cup of coffee. I think probably the fact that there's a giant high school, right across the street from the downed line is what brought them immediately. So it was just an odd way to start the morning, and we still have clocks that need to be reset that have not been reset. The microwave's going to be flashing 0 at us for quite some time, but I am able to come and podcast and to watch the 2 TV shows I needed to watch before we podcasted. So yay!
Once again, starting your day.
Starting my day with Ripley. Oh, golly, we will get into that. But I suppose as natural disasters go, being without electricity for like an hour is not the worst one could have to deal with right now. Your daughter had a frightening thing?
Yes. There was a tornado in a town neighboring her. There was a band of tornado, whatever it is, a group, a pod, I don't know, a murder of tornadoes that went through.
Yikes, one hopes not.
Right near where she lives.
Wow.
And one did touch down in the neighboring city.
Oh.
And so she said, we just, she and her roommates just hung out in the basement, which is where her bedroom is. for an hour. So I'm glad that they were together, you know, that none of them was home alone when this was happening, because that would have been awful. But they were together. But the thing is that the basement is a walkout basement. Like there is one whole wall is a sliding glass doors. So I do hope that they were at the other end, from, as far away from those glass doors as possible.
Get a mattress between you and all windows.
Yeah. I mean, there is like a laundry room that's just all sort of concrete. So
good. That's where you want to be.
I hope they were in there.
So if you're buried for a lengthy amount of time, at least you can wash your clothes. So.
Yes. Except you probably won't have power.
Well, that's true. Yes. Power. We just expect it to be there. And when you decide what you're going to do and you realize, nope, not doing that.
Can't do that.
I need to get me a battery powered coffee maker, I believe. That the electric's handy, but you can't count on it.
Right.
But have you seen
yourself a generator? I bet they sell them at the store where Andy works.
Yeah. Yes, they do. They do. We'll get into refrigerator sales a little later when we talk about it. That would be a good transition, except that I want to say there's a sequel to Twister coming out. Twisters.
Oh.
With, among other people, Anthony Ramos from Hamilton. Hi there.
Oh.
Don't get blown away, man. Like you did in Hamilton. Twice.
Yeah. He'll blow us all away.
That's
I believe was how the song went.
Yep. But we, as a family, really loved the movie Twister. It was like one of the first movies my daughter just really, really liked and identified as something she liked. You know, it's a lot of fun. This one looks like they said, what if that, but twice as much. So there's double twisters and two-stemmed twisters and all these. It just looks exhausting. I'm sure maybe it's fun, and I wish it luck for his sake, but I don't know. I think the first one was pretty perfect. I think maybe I'll just go watch that one again.
Right. Yeah.
You have many attractive people. Do you have Helen Hunt and Bill Pullman? You do not. Sadly, you can't. But you just...
Yeah, that was a fun movie. The first one.
Yeah. Philip Seymour Hoffman was in that movie, as he was in The Talented Mr. Ripley. So,
that's right.
Yeah, I might just go watch it. We might just go watch that one again. Wave and twisters as it performs or does not perform. And
right.
Sometimes the first one is a keeper and you just need to stop. Possibly a good transition into Ripley.
I really have to go back and watch the movie after.
We should do that officially afterwards, because everything I've read comparing the two makes the first one sound like way more fun.
Yeah.
And also,
it's in color.
We were talking a little bit last week about the aging up of the characters. And you had said you had heard that Andrew Scott was 40. He is, in fact, depending on whether his birthday has come this year, 47 or 48. He was born in 76. That's a long time to be scamming ladies out of their chiropractic payments.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you're just a guy out of school, or, you're just a college-age guy doing what you have to do to get by, and then you fall into this lap of luxury, that's a different thing than if you have been grinding with low-level cons for like 20 years, and you have been
probably
making
30.
horrible paintings in Italy for 20 years. That's different than, he's just been there for a little while after college. He's just kind of finding his feet. We'll let him have a little time, and then he's got to come back to the family business. The dynamic is different, and not in a good way, I think. Mm-hmm. Dakota Fanning is 30 or thereabouts. So, sweetie, you're really still in Italy writing travel books and photos that are never going to get published? Not as bad as if you were 40, but still. We pull out of it by 30, I think. Don't we pull out of it by 30, Catherine? We should pull out of it by 30. Time to get yourself a job someplace, sweetheart. But, well, I don't know. Maybe she's rich too, but it's just weird that they're older, I think.
Yeah.
And not in an, let's take a fresh take of this material sort of way, but this was a miscalculation kind of way.
Well, in a, like, we want these actors, so we're just going to hand wave the age thing
I read
away.
some reviews saying that the characters are supposed to be in their, like, mid-30s. Which, okay. Still a little bit too old.
Yeah.
Not as bad as mid-40s, but still a little bit too old. The guy who plays Dickie is also, I think, like early 40s. Mm-hmm. And also, not the most sympathetic fellow. I don't know.
Well, and as we talked about last week, kind of dim.
Yes. Yes.
I think it's partly like a expression of privilege, you know, to just assume that nothing bad is going to happen. So it's fine that this person is in your home trying on your clothes. And just showed up out of nowhere and you invited him to live with you.
Let's go take a boat out into the middle of the open water. What could possibly go wrong?
Right.
And then I'll tell him that, you know, the jig is up. That'd be a good place to do it, don't you think?
Exactly.
Not in a cafe with lots of people watching, but out in the middle of the open sea.
Yeah, out in the middle of nowhere where absolutely no one is watching.
With a boat that I really don't know how to work, but what the heck? I'm rich. It'll start. It'll start for me. Oh, Dickie, Dickie, Dickie.
Yeah, so this episode, the first episode we watched is called Sommerso, which means submerged in Italian.
Ah, very good. Look at you with the translations.
I looked that up.
Excellent.
Like, that has to mean something. I mean, do we think that it was a crime of opportunity? You know, like, was he planning this? Or was it like he was kind of tossing it around, and then when Dickie said the thing about, like, you know, get out of here, he was just like, he snapped? Or do you think it was plotted?
He's a character who has always been open to opportunity, and things just sort of come along and he makes good use of them. So I don't feel it's like Marge later saying that she's not sure that Tom is normal enough to have a sex life. I'm not sure he's normal enough to snap.
Yeah.
I think he just, okay, so this is the way things are now. Oh, look, there's a heavy wooden oar.
Right. Yeah.
And Dickie's really not paying attention to me at this moment. This would be a good time to
whack.
Beat him in the head.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, man. Excellent sound design on those whacks, by the way.
Yeah, it was quite brutal, and I was not necessarily expecting it to be that way. Like, I knew this was coming.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Right, yes.
But, whew, boy.
Even if you hadn't seen the previous movie, you would know this was coming.
Yeah. But my goodness.
Again, I say, you're going to tell somebody he's not going to want to hear out in the middle of the dang ocean? Dickie, how have you lived this long? That was, I assumed he was just going to knock him out and dump him overboard. I didn't know that he was going to basically beat him to death by smacking him in the head repeatedly with a heavy oar. That was more visceral than I expected.
Yeah. And
bloodier. And I think somebody said, ooh, the blood spatters look great in black and white. Have them give him 3 or 4 more times.
We need some more. Yeah. And then there was the whole, you know, everything that Tom then went through in terms of, you know, falling off the boat.
Now that part I did not expect. Yeah. The whole ordeal where he gets knocked into the water, and then I thought he got beamed by the anchor, but he must not have, because he was still alive.
It sure looked like he did. I mean,
because there was a blackout.
Yeah, like I feel like he.
But I think
passed out, but somehow he floated to the top or something.
He passed off while submerged in the water. Yeah. That usually works out well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess he floated to the top. Yeah, that was ambiguous. But then the motor is running perilously close to body parts, and just the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like as frenetic as you would expect that sort of thing to be, but it was still just chilling.
Yeah, absolutely.
To the extent that you wanted this, I mean, it would not be the worst thing in the world if Tom just went down with the ship, but
right.
Still, because we have been put into a position to root for this guy.
Have we? Are we rooting for him? Or are we just like, there's no story without him?
I think just in that he is sort of the focus of it.
Yeah.
I think we do sort of want to, despite ourselves, see him get away with it.
Yeah.
And take some satisfaction when he does, unwillingly.
And then in the next episode that we watch called La Dolce Vita, see how he's going to basically take over Dickie's life and live it parallel to his own in Rome.
Yeah.
Like, what are the logistics of that?
I guess it makes sense if you want to make it like he's still alive. Mm-hmm. But I would say, man, take the money and get the bleep out of there. Go someplace completely different. Don't be so easy to find.
Sell the Picasso, sell the boat, take the cash.
Sell the boat and skedaddle.
Yeah.
But, oh well, he wants that life, I guess.
Yeah.
It just seems so fraught. Doing business with the mafia guy, okay.
That'll go fine.
What could possibly go wrong?
Yep, exactly. No problem.
Are we supposed to think that he's just, since he's really fallen into all of this stuff and just followed the opportunities as they came up, including killing the guy?
Yeah.
Are we supposed to be afraid for him? Or are we supposed to say, oh my gosh, somebody just whack him? Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Right.
It's weird. I'm surprised that the maid has lived as long as she has. It looks like she's in the clear unless he goes back there. But I would have said, take the money, lady, because the alternative is you going out one of these windows. But
yeah,
she didn't take the money, and she left on her own terms, I guess.
I thought she did.
No, she put it back on the counter.
Oh, I missed that. Okay.
Yeah. Like, I know what you're doing, and I don't want any part of it.
Right.
But I would like to think that then later on when he was in another room, she snuck back in and took it.
She's like, wait a minute. What am I doing?
But he didn't seem to be bribing people along the way I would expect him to. Like, when you tell the guy at the dingy hotel that if this blonde lady comes in, say you're not here, don't you pass him a wad of cash when you're doing that?
Yeah. Right.
See, he doesn't know the ways of the people who have a wad of cash on them.
Right.
See, she goes in there and she gives him a wad of cash. He's gonna give Tom up.
Right.
Though he could probably get the wad of cash from her either way. I don't know. I'm very much enjoying all the Italian actors who are mostly just doing just astonishingly good facial work.
Quite suspicious.
Like, I'm on to you, man, but Americans, what are you going to do? Give me some money.
They stole my boat.
Yeah, this is... I had thought it was just a sign of how completely nondescript Tom is, that he was able to walk right by there and the boat guy didn't recognize him. But I read a review that said that he was facing away out into the sea while Dickie and the guy were negotiating. So,
and also when Tom did walk by him, he walked behind him. The guy wouldn't have seen his face.
But there is also the fact that, as Marge pinpointed, everything about Tom is perfectly vague. So possibly people wouldn't remember him anyway.
Yes.
But one thing you gotta say, it was quite the physical ordeal for Tom to get rid of Dickie, to get him out of the boat, to get himself back into the boat, to fill the boat with rocks. This is where climbing stairs constantly for a month pays off.
Right. Because then he had to basically climb a cliff.
If it was just kind of semi-sickly Tom from the U.S., but nope, he's been working out and now he's strong enough to do these things. Thanks, Dickie, for not putting in an elevator.
That's right.
It was the murder workout and we didn't even know it. This whole thing, we're again getting these beautiful black and white shots of mid-century items, appliances, and it made me nostalgic for American Express traveler's checks. Are there still American Express traveler's checks?
Yeah, good question.
I guess there are, but I remember when I went to Europe, I had my American Express traveler's checks, and you went to the American Express office and you signed one and you got some cash. It just is such a touchstone of Americans abroad.
Yep.
And you could contact people at the American Express office. Mm-hmm. If they do still have them, I wonder if they paid a product placement for this thing. It's got everybody going, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I remember those.
Yeah.
Maybe I need me some of those for my next trip. Next time I go abroad.
Yeah, Terry.
and kill people and live. It's not going to be me, but I remember that.
Yeah, no, I do too.
And the whole refrigerator thing had me howling. This was Dickie.
I'd rather hang myself than buy a refrigerator. Wow, dude.
But I not that long ago bought a refrigerator, and yeah, man, I feel you. It's kind of where I am too. It's like if this one stops working, we're just gonna do without. That was such a pain. So many choices.
You're just gonna get a block of ice and keep it in the backyard.
I am. It's buying appliances is traumatic. Appliances equal death.
Yeah,
is his feeling. And fortunately, this is not like something where you would then cut to a commercial from Home Depot where they're having a sale on refrigerators.
But it's like, way to not make yourself seem weird. You know, I mean, that is not like flying under the radar to be like, yes. I'd rather hang myself. No. Like, what? Come on, man. This is not how you're supposed to do it.
Yes, that's true. He says he's still not quite there. No. What you need to do is have an opinion on ice cube trays. This is an important thing for a sociopath. You want to make it seem like you're a normal human being.
2. Yes.
Oh my, that was fun. Not much about this is fun, but that made me laugh. Yes, exactly.
Just thinking about them hauling that thing up the stairs.
Oh my gosh, up the stairs. Well, thank goodness it wasn't that big.
I'm sure some guy just had a big strap and just
yep
up there.
One of those Italians.
Yep.
Who were just there to give good face.
Mm-hmm.
It was weird to me that he could just go and sell all Dickie's stuff and, tell the hotel to come and clear everything out. Wouldn't you need some sort of, like, signed letter from the guy? Although I guess he could just create a signed letter from the guy. Because he has his typewriter so that it'll look like it came from his typewriter.
It all looks like it's his.
But, man, that scam worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy.
Yep.
Even though all the Italians are like, we're on to you, but whatever.
Oh, goodness.
Maybe I can get this Picasso by pretending it's just something on the wall.
Right.
Oh, well. That was...
We'll see what happens next week with Tom's adventures in Rome.
Writing letters as Dickie praising his good friend Tom.
Right. You were wrong about him. He tells everyone.
Without really knowing anything that was said, which seems dangerous to me. Again, I say, man, take the money and get the heck out of there. Don't be where anybody can find you.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's
not the way his brain works, to the extent that it works.
He's not listening to you.
He's not listening to me.
Apparently.
He wants, he could have that good life anywhere. He could have that good life in some place much less detectable. But, oh well.
Yeah, but I mean, if Dickie's still alive, and also if Dickie's still alive, that's a steady stream of cash.
True.
So
yes, yeah, that's right. That's right, and also theoretically less suspicion cast on him because it's not a murder investigation.
Right.
Although that boat isn't really buried very, very well.
I know. I was like, when you started putting the rocks in it, I was like, yeah, but it's going to sink right here.
Yes.
Do you want it to be so close?
Yeah. A review I read said at that point he was just so exhausted that that's the best he could do. But go back the next day with an explosive device.
Yeah. Well, then he had to get out of town.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't know. Seems well. Hopefully, with the fire and all the other things that happened, the blood all got washed out anyway. There'll be something. Yes. There'll be some piece of it. He soaked the rope in gasoline and set it on fire to release the anchor. He's sitting there calmly. This person who we've been told is terrified of water is sitting there calmly in a small boat while like 1/4 of it is aflame.
And he's smoking a cigarette.
Well, okay then. Alrighty. If he wasn't terrified of water before, he should be now. That was intense. I mean, you knew he wasn't going to die because there's 4 more episodes of this thing, but not quite sure how he didn't.
No, especially when he got hit by that anchor, but okay.
Yeah, he had to have been, it was coming right at his head and then the blacked out, in which case he's like, that's like a ball of cement, right?
Yeah, it seemed like it.
Oh, well. Sometimes you have to let art literally walk.
That's right. Well, shall we move on to something
let's
just a little lighter?
Let's rev up the engine, zoom, zoom, and get ourselves the heck away from here. Let us flee into the comforting arms of Catherine's Library Find of the Week. Do you have something sweet and reassuring today?
I do. I have something that...
It's not something about dangerous animals or, butts, is it?
This comes from the category of when the tie-in goes too far. It is called Goodnight Girls, and it's a board book starring the Golden Girls as, like, cartoon people, like, of ambiguous age who are all having a sleepover.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm like,
okay.
Who is this for?
This is because small children are noted fans of the Golden Girls.
Yeah. It says, celebrate your love of the iconic 1980s sitcom with this charming board book that fans will want to share with the youngest readers at bedtime. Like, will they? Will they want to share it with the youngest readers who are like, what is this?
The theory of this is the only one paying attention is mom. We just have to mark it to mom.
But also...
If we get mom to want to get it. But if it's a mom of like a child young enough for this,
yes, that is exactly my question. People who watch the Golden Girls do not have small children right now. They have grandchildren.
Right.
So maybe that's the plan.
Well, maybe that's it. This is being marketed to grandmas. Oh. Grandma can't be with you, sweetie, so here's a bunch of old ladies to read about.
After taking a bath.
We'll watch the show when you come
After taking a bath and putting on their PJs, they all squeeze into bed and listen to one of Ma's Sicily stories before they drift off together. One time back in... well, how did she always started like, picture it, Sicily. And then she could tell the story of how she met this weird American named Tom. And she always thought he was creepy.
Yep. Yeah, but that's not... Nobody's going to be able to sleep after that. We talk too much about Tom.
That's true. Of course.
We don't talk about Tom. Well, that is...
something.
You know, you talk about how admiring you are of people who can pinpoint just the exact thing kids are going to want to read.
This is not that. But this is once again, a money grab that I'm like, man, why didn't I think of that?
It's true. That will definitely, it will be purchased as a gag book.
Yes,
and
for sure.
May well do well for that. Whether any child is actually going to have it read to them or enjoy having it read to them, I don't know.
Well, someone checked it out from the library, so... And according to the publisher, it's an instant USA Today bestseller.
Is it now? Alrighty. Okay.
Oh,
boy. Soon to be followed by Goodnight, Murder, She Wrote, and Goodnight, there's some other geriatric series. Good luck to them.
Matlock, which I saw. Yeah. They're bringing that back.
Are they really?
With Kathy Bates.
Oh, okay.
Looks like she's going to be starring.
Okay.
So I saw an ad for
yeah,
that.
My husband won't watch that. He watched Matlock.
Only the real thing Matlock. For him.
He doesn't enjoy what he considers stunt recasting of things. So right. He hasn't watched any of the new remakes of old things that he enjoyed.
Equalizer with Queen Latifah? No.
Nope. I bring them up. I tell him, don't you want to try this? Nope. Don't you want to look at this? Nope. The thing is, there's now like every old series in its original format available somewhere on TV.
Right.
So, he's busy watching Perry Mason and Mission Impossible from the 70s. Why would he need to watch some remake of something that he enjoyed?
Like Perry Mason.
He could find Matlock someplace. Yeah. Yeah, he did not watch the new Perry Mason either. I suggested it. Mm-hmm. But nope. No, actually, you know what? I think he did watch a little of it, and it was not his bag. Because it was not Perry Mason. It was Artie streaming Perry Mason.
Right.
And while I wish Matthew Rhys well, it's not my husband's thing. Yeah. So I would like to give them a little business, but no. And feeling The Golden Girls as a children's book is a similarly misconsidered reuse of a beloved property. Yeah. But, you got to try things. Mm-hmm. Probably grandmas are snapping it up.
Mm-hmm. All those Golden Girls fans who are still with us.
I don't know. They're a younger Golden Girls fans.
Yeah.
Do they want to be reading that to their babies? Right. Maybe they do. You know what? We're not in the target market either. So,
right.
Well, maybe it's something that people would be giving to their mothers for Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Maybe. Or have given to them for Mother's Day. And be going, what is this? Why do I want this? Back in May of 2023, we had an episode called Happy Day After Mother's Day. Were we talking about what we did on Mother's Day?
Yeah, we were talking about what we did, sort of that year and at any point on Mother's Day, what we enjoy for Mother's Day gifts or observations, I think.
Yeah. Mother's Day is about the same as every other special day in our household, which is that we do less and less down to pretty much nothing if we can get away with it.
Right.
So, I've been asked what I want to do for Mother's Day, and I'm like, why don't you think of something? I don't care. I don't know. I guess we could go out, but we don't have to. We don't buy cards anymore. Mm-hmm. We don't give gifts. We just live our lives from day to day.
Oh, apparently we mow the lawn. I don't know if you can hear that, but...
Oh, I can. I have it out my window.
Oh, so do I.
Okay, so we have dueling lawnmowers.
We have stereo lawnmowers happening here.
Oh, well, yes. It's not impossible that my husband would be mowing the lawn on Mother's Day. When even is Mother's Day? Will it have happened when this podcast drops?
When you're listening to this, it's over.
Okay, it's too late. If you didn't get your mother something, you better call back and apologize.
No, that's why.
Unless it's me, in which case I can.
Yeah. My daughter did send me a card, which I got well before Mother's Day, actually, and it was very sweet. It was a very pretty card and a very nice sentiment. Because this is the first year I'll have no kids around on Mother's Day because my son is still at school.
That's right.
He will be moving.
Well, the dogs need to do something for you then.
Yes, that is true. So, yeah, I just enjoy being left alone, which I think we've also established here.
Yes.
I don't need a big celebration. I just would enjoy having no responsibilities for a day. So
yeah, that's true. That's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yes.
But I feel like maybe, for us, but maybe for other people too, COVID just kind of knocked the stuffing out of all these observances because you couldn't do anything for them, and then you realized, hey, you know what? This is kind of nice. We don't need to go do anything. We don't need to go do stuff again. Well, just let it go. Maybe we order something in.
Yeah, and for my own mom, I always struggle because, I'm not there, and she doesn't need anything. She doesn't usually want anything, and it's a month before her birthday. And now this year, she's going to be moving soon, so you definitely can't give her any stuff that would then have to be moved or gotten rid of. So, and then I can't send flowers because my sister, the florist, lives there. She's giving her flowers all the time. So, there's not much to be done, to be honest. So, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Just send her a card, talk to her on the phone.
Yep.
That's about all I can do.
Yep. I haven't had to worry about that aspect of it for quite some time, but it's just me. And whatever. It's fine. Don't get me another card. It'll be just another piece of clutter on the table.
Right. Just another piece of paper.
We have a pile of Christmas cards on the table still, so really, that's okay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do people still, I guess people still make it. When your kids are little, I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
But when everybody is all scattered around, I guess just like a phone call or a Happy Mother's Day. My kids will say Happy Mother's Day to me on Mother's Day.
Right.
And that relieves them of their obligation. That's what I want for Mother's Day.
Right. The obligatory greeting. And then we can all move on with our day. Well, don't you, I mean, don't they observe it at church at all?
Yes, that's true. They do. I believe they still do that in church. They have all the moms stand for a special blessing.
Right.
I don't go to church on Sundays. I go Saturday nights, but I imagine they'll still do it. But I like that. And in fact, before I had kids, when I was trying to get pregnant and then we went through this whole adoption thing, that was always the big thing for me. It's like, I want to be able to stand in church when they give the blessings to mothers.
Right.
It's just every year I longed for it. And it's not that I felt that they shouldn't do it, which I know some people think you shouldn't because you make people feel bad. Yes, it did make me feel bad, but that doesn't mean they shouldn't do it. I just wanted to be part of it. I would have been devastated if they had stopped.
Right.
So yeah, that means something to me. I like that. Mm-hmm. That's my reward. But I don't know if they do it on Saturday. They must do it on Saturday night.
Yeah.
If I go on Saturday and they don't stand, I'll go again on Sunday.
There you go.
Give me my blessing.
Mm-hmm.
I worked hard for this.
That's it.
I'll just waylay the pastor outside the church Saturday night and say, "Give me a blessing."
Just give it to me right here, right now.
It's no. You got to stand up in front of everybody. Exactly. That's the whole thing. Stand up and get honored. They make it seem that I want that for less than blessed reasons, but it was just such a thing.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
It's just like those proud mom moments you were looking for.
Yes.
From 2 years ago, we had an episode talking about our proud mom moments.
What were our proud mom moments then, just for contrast? Let's see.
Actually, we were saying we were sort of admiring particular
general things,
qualities about them.
Yes, particular qualities. And I don't know. I kind of probably still feel the same with those. Mm-hmm. But this past weekend, my kids competed at a track meet for Special Olympics. And at every Special Olympics event, at the beginning, they have somebody recite the athlete's oath, which is, let me win, but if I cannot win, let me be brave in the attempt. And, you pause after each of those things and everybody repeats it. Mm-hmm. And there's always, one of the athletes always gets someone who leads that. And it hasn't been somebody from our group for a really long time. But at the bocce tournament a little while ago, one of our athletes did it. And now at this one, I hear that my son is going to do the athlete's oath. Mm-hmm. And which is what his coach said is that he agreed to do it, which is really pretty much the way it is. Because it's like, you could ask him and he'll go, eh. So, but he agreed to do it. And I'm like, do you want to practice it, buddy? Do you know the words? Yeah, it's fine. So, sure you don't want to just practice it? Because, you have to pause. No. I'm like, people take this seriously. You can't get up there and just mumble it. It's a big deal. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking, maybe he's practicing with his coach. I was really nervous. So I'm saying, the time came and he walked up there and I'm just saying prayers and he did great. Mm-hmm. He said it perfectly. He paused in between. I was so proud of him. And afterwards I said to him, his coach, was he practicing with you? And she said, no, he wouldn't practice. It's like he just winged it.
Good for him.
He just had a Tom Ripley level of confidence and just went up there and acted like somebody who gave a darn. And so I'm so proud of him. That's awesome. That was great. Yeah. I didn't even video it because I just wanted to stand there and just beam, prayers at him while he was doing it. Right. But somebody else took a video and I was able to listen to it later. And darn it, he did great. I am so. And every now and then your kids do something that you weren't sure that they could do. Right. And it's such a proud mom moment.
I surprise you.
And think of all the speech therapists in the past.
That brought you to this point.
Look what we did.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
And just that he felt confident enough to just, get up there and do the thing without obsessing over it the way all the women would have preferred that he did. So my husband's like, oh no, he'll do it. It's fine. And I was like, well, but he should recite it. Does he know the word? So there was a big sign with the words like right in front of him. So it wasn't like he had to memorize it necessarily, but you have to just say it with an appropriate degree of seriousness.
Yeah, it flows better if you know it.
You can't be like, let me win, but I can't win. Right. You have to, so yay.
That's awesome.
And then he did well in the events too, but that was the most important thing. That he was able to do that.
Right.
You go, man.
That's great.
You had any proud moments lately?
Well,
or proud qualities to admire?
Yeah, I mean, I think I still admire the same, like you said, the same things. My daughter had a very good skating season, so that was exciting. And she's not graduating right now, but a lot of her friends are, because this is the end of their 4th year. She's just doing some extra. So she did take some pictures with her roommate who's graduating, even though she's herself is not yet graduating. And she took this great picture where she took all of her medals and stuck her arms out to it as a T, and dangled all of her medals from her arms. And they were just the college ones. They were not even she's got 100 more from before that, but it's a really cool picture. It's really nice. So
that's great. We could do that with Special Olympics medals, but I think that my kids would possibly fall over.
Right.
You get a medal for every event that you participate in. Yeah. So we have a lot of medals.
Because they've done a bunch of sports.
Not actually gold, but
gonna melt those babies down.
Gold, silver, bronze, 4th place, 5th place, 6th place, all sorts of medals. But still, you keep them because you got to keep them. But that's a cool idea for a picture.
Yeah,
nice that she had such a good run at college.
Yes.
We should also say, just before we get out of proud mom moments.
Yes.
We should say that we are vicariously proud moms of Josh Eridix, the son of our former co-podcaster Nicole, who became a doctor this past weekend, right?
Yeah, graduated from medical school. Amazing.
Yes, we feel like we were sort of there for a lot of that. So congratulations to him and to Nicole for getting him through all that. Up to there and and now having a doctor in the family, so she doesn't have to go on to WebMD all the time. But still,
yes, it's very exciting.
We are proud secondary moms looking on.
That's right, we are.
And then on the other side of that coin,
3 years ago, we talked about what's bugging you, and this was an opportunity to, visit our complaint department and also talk about literal bugs. And it's timely because our lake flies are back.
Oh, wow.
Tradition holds that they show up around Mother's Day, and sure enough, here they are.
Isn't that nice of them?
It's great. Like, if you would want to sit outside maybe and, read a magazine on Mother's Day, no, you cannot, because you will just be disgusted by all these creatures. It's really, I can look out a window right now and I can see them on the screen, and they don't bite, but they just hover, in your face. And it's just not cool.
That's
not
awful.
Cool.
Yeah. We're supposed to get cicadas again this year, but what are the flies? I must have talked to them about them someplace. These bugs.
Oh, the lantern flies?
New Jersey. The lantern flies, yes.
Yeah.
My husband so enjoys squishing them while we take walks. Because he's doing his duty as a good citizen of New Jersey to murder them.
Right.
You need to get him an oar that he can just slam on them as they go by.
Because they are pretty big.
They're pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
And they are pretty, not afraid of you, which is, like Dickie Greenleaf, maybe unrealistic. But,
right.
they would totally go out on a boat with you into the middle of the ocean and think nothing of it.
But then you would have to do your civic duty and drown them.
Yes. Yes.
Bludgeon
but probably
and
the rope would not tie around their little bodies, so we would just squish them and flick them off the side. But the thing we have lately is still, I think I spoke about this before, it's not bugs, it's still the mouse problem.
Mice.
I don't know that we have mice. We definitely have mouse.
Okay.
There were at least 2, and one of them foolishly fell into an empty trash can, and we quickly just tied up the trash bag and put him out with the trash. Mm-hmm. But the other one is elusive, but there. Mm-hmm. He's not pooping all over the counters anymore. He's been a little more discreet. Mm. But every now and then we catch his little tail slipping in between the back of the oven.
Oh no.
He hasn't jumped into any pans, but he's still there.
Mm. That's so frustrating.
He's arranging to sell all our artwork and all our furniture so that he can move on.
It all comes back to Ripley.
It always does. If nothing else, that show is fun for referring back to all through the podcast. This is just there. It's just right there. So I don't know. I keep thinking that, okay, this is the last straw. We're going to have to get somebody to come take care of this. And then my husband goes, we could wait. So we wait, and it's still there. Still there. I keep thinking it's gone, and then we see his little tail skedaddling through the back of the oven.
Right.
So, I don't know. We seem to have some luck with mint extract on the counters.
Okay.
And bowls of vinegar. Because supposedly we saw online natural things is they don't like vinegar, they don't like mint. Put a tea bag in the back of the silverware drawer so maybe they won't come poop on my spoons. And it works, but then you have to keep doing it. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's the problem. I don't keep doing it.
Right.
But as long as all we see is the occasional tail squeezing through the back of the oven and I don't see poop all over the place and I don't see the mouse all over the place, I've read enough children books about friendly mice that I'm okay with just keeping it. I don't want to be what was the book? There was a book about a mouse and the evil cook was trying to cut its tail off with a cleaver. And it's like, it's training you to say, oh, mice in the kitchen, look at the cute mouse. It's okay. Why would you want to hurt the mousey? So I read enough of those books. Just stay out of my sight. Don't poop in my measuring cups. Don't poop on my placemat. Poop behind the oven where I can't see it.
Exactly.
And just only kind of squeamishly know that it's there.
Right.
This is all I ask, man. And you can stay, don't bite through my gas lines or anything. You can stay as long as you want. Just make yourself scarce is what I'm saying. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know.
It doesn't seem like too much to ask.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. Come on. Be a good tenant and stay out of sight. Don't play loud rock music at midnight. Don't fling your refuse hither and yon on the property. Just mind your own business.
Yeah.
See, lantern flies do not mind their own business, nor do lake flies.
No.
But if they just hung out someplace other than your face, they could probably,
exactly.
You would not hate them so much.
Right.
Why do they have to go for the face?
Mm-hmm. That is the problem.
Yeah, just poor planning on their part.
That evolution didn't work. Didn't think that through.
What can we do to make humans want to swat us? I know.
Right.
Oh well. But yes, the mouse is still laughing at our traps, so there's that too.
Yeah.
It's like, I see what you're doing here. I think I was born yesterday.
Right.
The one that fell into the trash was very young. I don't think the wily older mouse would have done that. Mm-hmm. Sniff for garbage first. So, whoops. So, on that uplifting note of rodents in the kitchen and flies in your face, we'll say that's it for the Parenting Roundabout Weekly Roundup. If our life was in black and white, that stuff would be so much more interesting.
It'd be beautiful, wouldn't it?
Beautiful close-up of the mouse crap on the counter. Beautiful close-up of the flies hovering about in the air. Beautiful close-up of the lanternfly squashed under the man's shoe. But no, we just have... actually, that's it for the Parenting Roundabout Weekly Roundup this week. But next week, in addition to Ripley Episode 5, Lucia, we're going to watch the first episode of the next season of Bridgerton. Yes!
Woo!
All the color. They've taken their normal color plus all the color from Ripley. And it's just going to be fabulous. Dresses and handsome people and large lawns and ballrooms and flowers and Taylor Swift songs being played on the cello. It's going to be great. It will be so refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
Yay! And though not everybody there is there's plenty of people there of evil intent, but at least they're, probably not going to bludgeon anybody with an oar.
Right.
Probably not.
Right.
A tongue lashing, absolutely. Skullduggery in the background, besmirching somebody's good name, for sure.
Yes, that's what we expect.
An oar to the noggin, not going to happen. So, somebody died from a bee on Bridgerton, so you can never be too sure. But probably not an oar to the head. So, whew. The first episode of that is called Out of the Shadows. You can find all our episodes on Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com. You can also talk to us on our Facebook page, on Instagram, or on Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat. And please visit our Amazon shop at amazon.com/shop/momitude, where you can find links to a lot of the things we've talked about over the years. We'll see you back here next Tuesday. Goodbye, Catherine.
Bye, Terry.
Goodbye, everybody.